Hey guys, Dave from Nerdarchy, for nerds, by nerds, hang out with these nerds, and we might be live.
Nate the Nerdarchy.
Marcus Ted.
What's going on, folks? Happy Saturday.
Woo.
It's August 5th, man. The summer is almost over. Where has it gone?
We're back to the East Coast,
We are back on the East Coast, allegedly.
allegedly. Well,
So,
unless we packed up my basement.
hey, it could happen. Stranger
Portable
things
hole.
have happened. Yeah,
has
bag
one.
of holding.
But unfortunately, Stranger Things 2 has not happened yet.
No, it has not.
For season 2.
All right, good. This it's playing. There's no sound, but I think you guys probably have sound. Hopefully.
But we see sound on our end. I can certainly hear you.
Yeah, well, that's true. I can hear you as well. Excellent. Hey, guys, how's everyone doing? So, some of you may know that we just got back from LA Tuesday morning, actually, and that was a blast.
A lot of fun. We'll certainly going to share some stories, some heartache, and some woes.
Ivan Hinkman, who's the guy with the gray beard? He might be new around here. Although my beard has been known to change colors, it is kind of miraculously.
It's like a chameleon.
Yeah. John the Lion, yo guys, newcomer here. Welcome.
Welcome.
David Leavitt, do you have a moment to talk about our Lord and Savior? I don't think so, unless he's Cthulhu. I always have time for Cthulhu. That counts. Bard's in the basement with a Centaur 2, little gnome guy. God, John, this cube, nice. So, I guess we had like a bunch of stuff to talk about, right? Like we had some adventures when we were out in LA. Not all of them were good, but we survived. We got some XP. We're stronger. We might have even leveled up. Ted's about to level up.
Oh, maybe.
I actually did level up the day we got back.
Day we returned.
Yeah. So maybe some more of these. White hairs, Cat Thulu. No, he's too scary. So, what do we want to talk? Where do we want to start?
All right. Well, so how about we, talk about all the things we're going to talk about,
Okay.
and then we can figure out where we want to go. So this month is my turn to run the fan game. So I will be doing that. It will be August 20th at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I've got a list over here of who's in it, who's alternates, and what have you. So we'll get into that. We got to come home with some giveaway stuff from Satine Phoenix.
Satine swag, yeah.
So that's pretty cool. She autographed that as a eventual giveaway for you guys. We have a giveaway to actually give away from last month's selection. So we'll announce that at some point in time. We can thank Nate for holding down the fort while we were traveling.
We could also thank Emerald Knight Games.
Absolutely.
They were integral to our successful journey.
And as well as along with thanking them, we can thank all of the 15 awesome fans who traveled mere minutes to up to 6 hours to come hang out and game with us over in California. That was pretty amazing.
Yeah, and we can also thank the folks at Nerdist, thanks Geek and Sundry, all part of Legendary Entertainment.
Legendary Digital Studios.
Oh, yeah. Which is owned by Legendary Entertainment. It's very confusing. And then owned by yet another country, another company. Yeah. One big shadow organization after another.
And if you saw the message on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Patreon, we got the picture with Matt Mercer. We got the conversation.
Hold on a second here. My own music. Oh, I joined this before I realized it was live videos. Is that because you're the guy that always spams us like every live video we do? It goes right to, you can do it, but it goes right to the spam and no one ever sees it. If you're that guy. So there's someone, my music, blah, blah, blah. We get a few of those. Or like the porn chat chicks are like, I made a video about you, right? And then they just go to like their empty site. There's like nothing there. And, they all just go to the spam anyway.
Right.
So, I don't know. Rant completed.
But we got the picture with Matt Mercer. We got the secondary confirmation that he will do an interview with us. So, soon as his schedule opens up a little bit, we're hoping to get him on. He's not confirmed twice. If he confirms a third time, Dave says we own him or something.
We own his soul by fairy law. I mean, I didn't write these law. I warn him next time too, just in case. You know, I don't want him to get into something he wasn't looking to, but I don't want him to accidentally lose a firstborn or his soul or something like that. Fairy law is very tricky.
Indeed.
So also someone said something about a side quest. Did we get? I think it was Scratch Paper Games. Did you reach your destination uneventfully, or was there a side quest? Hey, Comic Book University.
Reached the destination without a side quest. The side quest started thereafter.
All right, you want to tell it or you want me to tell it?
I've told it a number of times. You've told it a number of times.
All right, Nate, it's your turn.
All right, so
So here's what happened.
dragon.
Yeah. So here's the dealio, guys. So we got into LA early, 30 minutes early. Things are looking good. We're gonna be able to chill, relax, maybe do some hanging out or something. So we get there. You know, I had gotten the confirmation email from the cheapest rental car I could find, saying you've made a wise decision because the desk is right in the airport.
You have chosen wisely.
And I'm like, yeah, I did. Chicka bow wow wow. And then I get there and I talked to the guy at the information desk. He's like, son, because it was an old dude. He's like, son, there is absolutely no rental car places in here whatsoever. And he's like, let me look it up for you. And he can't find anything. So we go to the bulletin board and like, oh, here's the shuttle for rental cars. That makes sense. Oh, that's easy. No big deal. We'll go stand over there. And we stand over there for like an hour.
For this one, we waited a half hour for the appropriate rental car shuttle to arrive.
And we saw like 50 million ones that weren't ours. So I was like, well, let me see if I got a number and I'll call. And I did. And some dude puts me through to, the automated system. And it's like, we were standing on the purple line, but we needed to be in the blue line to look for the green line van to the remote car, rental car lot.
So we go back inside. We find out where we have to go. We go to the correct color overhead, wait for the bus that says green line on it. That will take us to the remote rental car drop-off, which looks like an abandoned parking lot.
Well, it looks like it actually looks like a parking lot to like a transportation depot or something like that, like a freight line or whatever. And there's some signs and some places on it, and there is a van there. So we're like, oh, well, okay, it looks shady, but there's a guy there with a van. So it looks about right.
Organ harvesting time.
So he's like, well, I'm not the right guy, but the one we're waiting for, he was just here. I'm certain he'll be right back.
Yeah. So we wait like 45 minutes, an hour. This is looking sketchy. Another couple shows up from Philadelphia, and they're like, this looks like sketchy, and they decide to walk to the place. And we wait a little bit longer, and we're like, I don't know. I've got way too much time on my hands this time. So I'm researching the company, and they've gotten a whopping 1.5 stars in reviews, right?
And that was only because somebody was actually kind enough to say, well, it was a headache. It took forever to get the car, so I'll give them 3 stars. Everything else was like pathetic.
Yeah. We got a super chat for $10 from David Leva. Thank you very much. When is the Nerdarchy Con? When? I don't know. We almost had one happen, but that was like a whole nother thing. But we are looking to do something in the future. We want to do more events and more hangouts with you guys.
Are you one of the Davids who joined us last Sunday?
I do not know. But that being said, so after researching and waiting and going, this looks like this is going to be extra shitty. We decided to look for another place. And like, oh, Avis isn't far from here. So we start walking to Avis.
Now, mind you, not far at 11 o'clock at night was almost a mile, and we have all of our luggage with us.
West Coast time. But we find a budget before we get there. So like, screw it. Let's see if they got anything. Wait in line 20 minutes. And you know what? They had a car, so that was awesome. Except it was a hard top Mustang, which we were kind of skeptical of fitting 3 adults and our luggage in.
And it was 2.5 times the price of what we had from the other car.
Yeah, it was quite a bit more.
Because you had all the camera equipment too.
Yeah, we had the stuff. And so we're like, all right, well, let's keep nay, I wish, said David. Well, maybe next time, buddy. So we keep on trucking down. We find Avis, and I talk to the guy, and it's, the price is better than budget, but still higher than what we had. And I was like, and I him and haul a little bit. Like, we don't need no insurance. We all have car insurance, right? And then he's like, hold on a second. Let me see what I can do. He makes a phone call. He's like, wait 5-10 minutes. Someone will be here. So dude shows up. He goes, "Hey, are you so and so?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm so and so." And he goes, "Here, come with me." And he's like, "Walk this way." And we're like, Igor walking.
So we grab all our stuff. We start walking backwards through the parking lot to this guy's personal vehicle
with someone else sitting in the passenger side. I'm like, okay, is he taking us to his gang? What's going on?
Because the other guy did say, I got a guy.
Yeah.
He didn't give us any information. Didn't say, oh, there's another rental car place. He just said, I got a guy. We'll see what I can do.
I'm like, all right, hopefully they're only looking for kidneys because I've got two. Allegedly. So we get in the car, we start going, and he's like, I just got to drop this guy off at the airport. I'm like, all right, cool. And then we're like, oh,
and then we'll go to the place.
Yeah.
That was his wording. I'm like,
place.
oh, God.
Our place, my place, something like that. So we're like, all right, well, what company was that again? We didn't catch it. And then he told us. It's cool. And it turns out Henry was a really nice guy. What was it? Van Express?
LAX Express van and car rental.
Yeah. And actually, Henry was a really nice guy. Hooked us up with a sweet Prius that ran and everything, had plenty of room for our luggage, and it actually worked out really good. So from there we shoot.
Everything's fine from there. Right?
It's perfect. From there,
one would think that after walking, around a mile, hauling all of your luggage, going to multiple rental car locations, that the side quest should be over. But nay!
1 o'clock, we finally arrive at our destination in Burbank, which is a Quality Inn. And
with a reservation.
With a reservation. And we did not get quality treatment, let me tell you. First ill omen, the vacancy sign at the desk.
So no vacancies.
Or no vacancy sign, yeah. So we go, hey, but we're like, hey, we got a reservation. That's their problem, right? And he's like, we have no vacancies. There's no rooms. I'm like, what do you mean there's no rooms? I paid for a room. I want my room. And so at 1 o'clock in the morning, we're kind of fighting with this guy, going back and forth. He calls the owner.
Now, I will remind you, it's 1 o'clock now, West Coast time. So the rest of us have been up since East Coast time, so it's really 4 a.m.
It is. So he gets on the phone with the owner and then comes back to us. He's like, and they're speaking in another language, by the way, that we don't speak. If it would have been gibberish, I'd been good, but it wasn't, and it wasn't English either. But he's like, hey, we got a remote site. It's not far from here. I can show you. It's like an apartment.
It's like an upgrade.
Yeah, it's like an upgrade. 2-bedroom. I'm like, oh, cool. Finally, this will all work out. Good deal. So he's like, here, just follow me down this dark alley, literally.
He didn't say that. He just said, oh, come with me. So we walk outside and then begin to go down this dark alley. And it's like, this is a little weird.
Yeah. So our spidey senses were tingling. It does take us to an area where there are apartments, and he's going to open the door, and all of a sudden, the air conditioner kicks on. He's like, oh, someone's in there. I can't open that door. And then he's like, oh, I have nothing for you. I'm like, well, then you're going to have to call your manager, the owner, or whatever, and you're going to have to figure something out, put us up somewhere. I don't care. You've taken our money.
So we've told him that, this needs to be made right. We don't have anywhere else to go. We have already paid. And he proceeds to walk back towards the hotel. Now, I'm tired, I'm cranky, and I don't like being tired and cranky. So when I'm irritable, I tend to
We don't like Ted when he's tired and cranky either.
I tend to push that off on others. I know it's a weakness of mine. But the dude's
just think any Snickers commercial you've ever seen with the diva.
So he's walking, he's got the cell phone in his hand, but he's not talking to anybody. He's not making any attempt. So he doesn't think we're serious. But I understand what's going on, so I actually attempt a little bit of politeness here. I'm like, excuse me, sir, is there a reason you're not talking to your manager yet? We were serious.
No, he said, is there a reason why you aren't on the phone? And while Ted said he was being nice, he totally used used the tone you used to talk to disobedient children and dogs.
All right, well, I said excuse me at least.
He did say excuse me, and he did say sir.
So, again, I'm cranky, I'm tired. But realistically, we paid for the room, and this guy's not doing anything. He's the employee. He's the one that we have to deal with. So he gets on the phone. He talks to the guy, and after a little bit of back and forth, he hangs up, and he's like, the boss is going to call on this line and get you squared away. Alexandra, I can't talk, sorry guys.
Ted was being passive aggressive as You know what? Yeah, pretty much. And so the boss the owner calls back, and I get on the phone with him. He's like, "Look, I got another place. I will put you guys up for free. I'll give you 2 rooms, but it's 40 minutes away." Turns out it's actually like 50 minutes away in a direction we didn't need to go. And
it's in the worst part of town.
Yeah, it was like a rat hole. Pretty much. I think Ted was cuddling with rats that night. I don't know.
I think you described it as the Camden of that area.
It was bad. It was not an area, we wanted to be in. I actually kind of had to finagle with the plumbing of the toilet in order to get to sleep because
the water was
just constantly running. So I'm like,
what is it you say? You're like, hasn't California been in a drought for like 10 years and the water's just running?
Yeah, that's not.
It's that one hotel's fault. They did it.
So it's now, 2 a.m. and we've got an early day the following day, as we're offered a tour of Geek and Sundry. So it's like, all right, let's just get to bed and go about our day. So I'm like, well, there's not going to be, 2 complete REM cycles. So I'm actually going to get, up early. So I was up by like 6:30. So I got about 4 hours of rest.
Perfect. What more do you need? So other than that, though, the trip was awesome. Like after that, it kind of, there was one glitch.
There was one more glitch.
There's one more glitch.
When we were at the Quality Inn in Burbank at 1 o'clock in the morning without a room, and we're talking to the boss, it's like, look, we need to be in this area. So if we come back tomorrow night, is there going to be any kind of issue? He's like, no, we'll make sure. There was a plumbing problem.
Yeah.
None of the other employees know anything about. We got you covered, and we'll see what we can do about getting you an upgrade. So we go about our thing, and we'll get to the Geek and Sundry. But we toured Geek and Sundry. We came back at the appropriate time to let's get a room. You're not supposed to be able to sign in before 3. It's now 3. We're here. No vacancy. So there was a little bit of shuffle, arguing, and as opposed to getting, the good room with the 2 beds, I wound up getting the rollaway bed for that night. After that, then it was smooth sailing and nothing but awesome.
Yeah. So basically, what happened like that all that day we had spent hanging out at Geek and Sundry. We went out to lunch with TL Freschetti. And which, thank you, TL, for showing us around and introducing us to people and showing us like one of the best Mexican restaurants to eat in the area. It was awesome. We had a really good time. She introduced us to Matt Mercer. Later that evening, when we went back, we also hung out with Ben from Geek and Sundry. So we had a really good meeting with him. And hopefully we can partner with Geek and Sundry in the future for some other things. It definitely seems like it could possibly be in the cards. It's not.
We'll see how things shuffle out.
Yeah, it's not unforeseeable. That is for sure. So that was really cool, and it was really cool to see all their sets and their stages and everything, and talk to their guy Ryan, who actually has been running Twitch for Geek and Sundry since the very beginning. So we got to interact with it and talk to a lot of really cool and interesting people. Did you guys meet Mercer? We did, like, in passing, because when we got there, like, they're all kind of, like, getting ready and, like, decompressing before the show.
Who did he ask?
Marissa Ray. She was there. We saw her. But it was like, pretty much everyone other than Matt was kind of like,
Hi, and kept walking.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not that they did it. They were just getting ready. They're doing their thing beforehand. They're talking to the other, the other people that are going to be in the game. And then we were talking to other people too, so we were kind of like nerd adjacent to them for the most part.
For all intents and purposes, we're the small fish in the big pond.
Well, they're at work too, they're doing their normal work thing for Thursday nights, and we're just kind of there like interlopers.
We're there observing. It's like, I'm going to stay on these outskirts and see who I can actually chat with and hang out with, and it was really interesting, and like I was like. Really like excited and impressed that the Cardboard Fortress Games people that we know, their game was sitting there on the table at Geek and Sundry to be able to go on tabletop. So like to me that was a kind of cool thing.
Yeah. So Comic University Professor Bill, Remember when Nerdarchy said they had enough for the flights from the GoFundMe, but not enough for hotel rooms? We almost lost Nerdarchy over this. So, and actually, there's kind of more to that story, and it really speaks to the coolness of the people we got to hang out with and meet out there. But because we did stay there Thursday at the Quality Inn, and then we went out to Universal Friday all day. Like, we kind of took it as like a tourist to be like a tourist day. So we did that, hung out, got a bunch of pictures, and just had a really good time. And then afterwards, we were meeting up with Satine and Rudy. So we went to Satine's, and we're hanging out with them. And did we just hang out? We went out, right? We went out to dinner.
Yeah, we went out to dinner that night. I've actually got the
picture,
the cool, cool picture. Typically, if you go out to a lot of different places, there's someone walking around with a camera, and I'm not going to spend money on just a regular, I'm out to dinner with my friends. But here's an occasion that I've met, Satine and Rudy for the first time, and we're out to dinner and we're having a good time. And, she's like, oh, do you want to buy the picture? I'm like, absolutely. Yeah. So I've got that as a cool memento of, that awesome trip.
Yeah. And, Satine Phoenix, absolute sweetheart. Rudy Rutenberg, awesome, great guy. And literally, like, when they heard our story, they're like, you guys are not going back to that hotel. We're going to put you up. You're going to stay with us. And, like, we stayed between Satine's and Rudy's place. And basically, we're able to hang out with those guys all weekend. So that was really cool. So we didn't have to undergo any more of the hards. Matter of fact, we're still, like, fighting to get our money back that we spent on that horrible experience for the hotel rooms. So that, that was super cool. And then what else did we do? So Saturday was GM Temps.
Yeah, we were there, basically, all morning and into the early afternoon. Here we got to talk to more people, and get engrossed with more people involved in Geek and Sundry. We made a lot of contacts, people that we hope to be able to have on the show. On our live chats, during the week, because, noon our time is 9 a.m. their time. So to them, it's like, well, my day hasn't really started going yet. So it's pretty easy to get that time spot.
Yeah. Start your morning with Nerdarchy, So, and that was a really cool experience. The whole, like, having never been on a set like that with like so many people all around. I'm like, oh, just let me not puke on Satine. This will be great.
Well, I mean, we're looking at, our production where it's like, okay, we have the lights that we set up. We have the one camera, the one mic. Whereas, like, you go to the Geek and Sundry level production where there's like, 3, 4, 5 cameras, lights all over the place. It's like, oh, we're going to hook you up with a lapel mic because we got this mic over here and we want to make sure X, Y, and Z. And, you've got 7 people behind the sets plus a couple of observers. And I'm like, okay. I mean, I've done, stage crew. I've done sound crew. I've been on stage productions, in high school. So, like, I've seen some of that kind of stuff, but it's like
20 years ago,
20 plus years ago, for some of that stuff. So I'm like, all right, well, I'm a long way away from all of that stuff. So
absolutely. Alexandra Satine seems she's a super awesome person. Like, she is actually, and Rudy. They're both, like, very sincere, and the impressions you kind of get from seeing them is like how they are.
Yeah, I would 100% agree to that. And not only that, but they're incredibly personable. And from the other side, like so many of you guys out there who watch our videos regularly, so do they. So Satine really felt like she had a relationship with us. Like, I had never met her, never talked to her, never interacted with her in any way, shape, or form until this trip. And she's like, well, I already know Ted. So, like, I'm right there giving a hug, and I'm like, okay, I'm a friendly, easygoing person. So if somebody wants a hug, I'll give a hug. And, it was like, problem?
No, it's not at all. Keep going.
So, like, she's like, yeah, right there. Here's the hug. And I'm like, okay, all right. But it's that same thing that some of you guys have shared with us when we've met you. That's like, you have this relationship with us from watching, all of the videos that we
Possibly
put up.
several hundred hours of relationship with us.
Yeah.
So like I don't see that side. I'm not aware of it. And when it came up, she's like, "Oh yeah, I guess we had never met." I'm like, "No." And she went into that same thing. I was like, "But I've watched so many of the videos. I've interacted with that." So I hadn't thought that we'd never actually had a conversation.
So CA Hollenbeck, hi guys. Hey, what's going on? Watching at work. Shh, don't tell the boss. Your secret's safe with us. Comic Book University, and this is why I kind of lost a little bit. So the toilet could still be maintaining the drought in California. Ted, you have to go back.
No, I did fix it. The first night I just took a towel and shoved it into the chain to keep the bobber up. But then when I was actually conscious enough, I actually found out that the chain from the stopper that hooks to the plug had disconnected, and it was sitting in between the valve, stopping the water stopping the seal from happening. So I actually did fix it. So I stopped that. So it's not still going unless somebody else.
So the drought in California is just about over. So not only are we good for nerdy D&D videos, call Ted for your plumbing needs as well.
No. You don't want me as your plumber. I don't do plumbing. I don't do electrical. Like minor toilet stuff was the closest I get.
So that's your peak.
So the other thing too with after GM tips, we did that, and then Satine's like, "Hey, you guys are coming with us. We're going to a friend's birthday party," and so
it's just hop in her vehicle and off we go. And I'm like, all right, well, I mean, I am me. I'm gonna nerd out and what have you. So I'm like, on one line, it's like, are there going to be any celebrities? Because she just, not that she's doing it to name drop, but it's like, oh yeah, I talked to this person.
A conversation with her is just like a big long name drop.
And it's not on purpose. It's just that's
They're
California life. That's
so you know who's going to be there.
So and then I'm like, well, so. And if it's not celebs, like what other kind of people are going to be there? And she's like, oh, it's going to be a total nerd fest. Almost everybody there plays D&D and what have you.
We met
so I'm like, all right,
real life Indiana Jones.
Cindiana Jones, in fact.
Yeah.
And she is, she agreed right there on the spot to, come on and talk on the show at some point in time.
And possibly do some writing. So I'm curious to see how that goes. I think there was like a couple astrophysicists at the party.
There was at least one, but she's like, I know 9.
Yeah, which is kind of crazy. And then Sunday, after Maze Arcana, they did their thing. We went off to Emerald Knights. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Which they have a totally awesome comic book store / gaming store.
If I could lift that store up and put it over here, that would be fantastic. One of the best gaming shops I've ever been in. And some I've been to are really cool, but it had like all the product stuff that you would want at a gaming store, including like mini rentals, which is pretty fantastic, especially if you don't have the capacity to have the colossal red dragon or the gargantuan, white and black and blue. And I don't have the blue yet. I'm still trying to find that one. But awesome stuff. But then they had a second like tier that looked down into the shop, had all the tables for your, board gaming, miniature wargaming, D&D, Magic the Gathering. Fantastic setup.
So we've gotten some of the most risque questions Nerdarchy has ever gotten, which I'll probably just skip over. What Ted does in his bedroom is his business, guys.
Wow.
Ted can't see the chat. It's beautiful. Dave, that was level 10.
No problem. So after the fan hangout, we went back to Satine's place, which doubles as their set, which is kind of cool the way they transform it. Yeah, pretty much. And before that, we actually got them to see the unveiling of the Breland throne room, which was freaking amazing. I mean, there's plenty of pictures we put up of that.
Yeah, none of my players have put 500 hours worth of work into a project for me. So yeah.
Well, when you give us some Rudy level games, we'll think about it. So please get some famous actors and actresses in your game for us too, and we'll get on that. So after that, we went to a Game of Thrones party.
And I mean,
we held up a Game of Thrones party.
We held up a Game of Thrones party to record the video that went up yesterday.
Yes,
because we had to actually do something because you guys want to keep watching our videos, so I had to keep that engine rolling.
Yes. We still needed more videos, and we wanted to get some videos with those guys. It was a little longer than we've done in a long time, but it was good stuff.
But I mean, when you've got
RPG to put in the video, yes, absolutely.
You've got what?
RPG?
Oh.
RPG made an appearance.
RPG,
yeah. So anyway, that video is up. You guys go check it out.
Okay.
that was the name of Satine's cat.
Okay.
Yeah.
RPG.
I cut out all of Ash getting yelled at throughout the video, which is Satine's dog.
Well, I think during that yelling is when RPG kind of walked away. So I think if you watch it at some point in time, the cat just vanishes.
Oh yeah. Up in smoke. We should add an effect.
I listened to it. I was like, oh yeah, animals can be a pain in the butt, and then I don't know any of the stuff going on.
Yeah. So we went to this party, a bunch of cool people there, and it isn't until after we were leaving that they had made some comments and I didn't quite understand. I just thought that this guy just liked the Lannisters or something, which is fine. There's people that like them.
Yeah.
But it turns out no, that was the actor that played Lancel Lannister.
So we had the Hollywood experience. We watched a show with someone who was in that show. It was awesome. I just wish we could have, documented that by getting the picture and, what have you.
So, and that brings us to our final day, Monday, I guess.
Monday, we got to, say goodbye to Satine and Rudy, going out to breakfast. And then we got to all right, well, we've done all that we have to actually do. But, we went and did some of the touristy stuff, the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Yeah, we went on a tour. That was kind of cool.
The Man's Chinese Theater.
We were fortunate enough to find the Nerdarchy star on the Walk of Fame.
Yep, that was pretty awesome.
You guys, and it's not Photoshop, guys, just so you know.
Guarantee you, not Photoshop.
Someone asked me if it was Photoshop. I was like, we don't even know how to Photoshop.
What's that?
Nate might be able to Photoshop, not me.
I haven't done Photoshop in a long time, and I can guarantee you that photo that went up on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, not Photoshopped.
Good, because I was wondering myself, actually.
Oh, do you know yet?
I just didn't ask you guys.
Oh, you'll never know. Nice, True-Mate. Casually got your own star. That would be good. Yeah, and then our LA adventure ended. So.
And then it ended. We spent some relaxing time in the airport. The long flight home. I mean, travel time was actually, again, decent. I'm used to a 6-hour flight between, not used to, but I was aware of it, from previous travels that Jersey to California is a 6-hour flight. But this time it was, under 5 hours both times. I was pretty happy, pretty impressed. And then it's back to the day-to-day.
More Nerdarchy stuff. More videos.
Dave's lost in the chat.
Oh yeah, it was actually because Adam says something. Yeah, mini rentals would be great way to do that. Which is I'm only getting a part of it, and I think it's funny, but because of at the Sturgat, they actually did have mini rentals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but I don't think we didn't have any Adams there, so it wasn't that. The chat is too far gone. I cannot go back now.
Renting minis or a small rental?
No, renting miniatures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna I want to rent the colossal red dragon because I can't afford the $400 or $500 it goes for on eBay.
Okay, that makes sense.
Then I can use him, take him to my home game, use him for however many sessions I have, and then bring him back.
So Alexandra Elizabeth, Nerdarchy, have you guys thought about upgrading your cameras? I know you talked about liking the ones they use for Maze Arcana. Honestly, we just upgraded this year.
We upgraded this one in December, January for our trip out to the Fantasy. Thank you, Dave.
Yeah.
And the next step up from this camera, because we actually talked to Geek and Sundry and the Maze Arcana people about what's the transition. So from this one, the next step up is a $6,000 camera, and that's very pricey for us. And then after that, the next one's $90,000.
You better be able to do slow-mo. That's all I gotta say.
I think it will be. Well, there might be some levels.
For $90,000, it better do the work for us.
There's probably some levels, between what we have now and $6,000. But First of all, here's the step one. We actually have to learn how to use the camera we have properly. One of the things we were actually talking about is trying to find someone and bring them in, and if we have to pay them, we pay them, just to how to get the most out of our setup we have. And then once we master that, hopefully by that time, the fundage will come in for us to then upgrade again, and then we'll have something new to learn.
You saying you didn't like the 91 pictures for the 15 items?
Inside Nerdarchy joke. So we're about halfway through, so we might as well bust out a roll call, folks.
All right, so sound off. While you guys are doing that, I will make mention of the list. So August 20th, while Dave is venturing off at Gen Con, I will be running my fan game. It'll be at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to do a 6th level game. I've yet to figure out exactly what I'm planning to run at this point in time, but my players are Andrew Seabaum, Lance Turner, Glenn Clace, Troy Seward, Jamie Bobbitt. The alternatives are Maximilian Tome, Vanessa Mina Wright, Max Weston, Trey, and Matt Waj. If I've mispronounced your name in any way, shape, or form, I greatly apologize, because I tend to mess stuff up all the time. An email will go out probably tomorrow about this. We've got family engagement after this, so literally when we're done here, it's off to that thing.
We all go.
We all
separate
poof.
ways.
So I will be reading off the roll call in a moment. Page decided to crash.
All right. Well, so then in that case,
reason,
I will move on to the next thing. While we were hanging out with Satine, she decided she was going to give us stuff for you guys. So the Action Heroine's Journey, warping, distilling, and just plain exploding monomyth to fit her story for writers. We have an autographed copy of her book that we will at some point in time be giving out to one of you guys. The way to get on that is to support us on Patreon, or you can fill out the order form, or not order form, but entry form that mails into our P.O. box. Go ahead and throw out our disclaimer.
Oh, well, that's found on our website under sweepstakes and giveaways. And just to let you know, this is not part of YouTube or dealing anything with YouTube as a giveaway. So this is just on us, and it also has nothing to do with Patreon or YouTube.
It has nothing to do with anything. What does anything?
Our
What does
personal
anything
choice
mean?
to run this contest.
Yes.
Okay, so Staff Writer Doug brings up a really good point. You could go to the Maze Arcana Gen Con workshop. I believe we're having 2 possibly, and maybe win New Year. Anybody going to Gen Con, you want to learn to be a streamer, Maze Arcana is doing a course on it, a workshop, and I believe there's giveaways that have to do with it. I don't know if we could win. It would feel really weird. I feel like we have too much of a relationship with them.
It would be awesome if we won.
Well, it would be. But we got White Rabbit in Geneva, New York. We've got Jeremy in Central Florida. We've got Staff Writer Doug in Cleveland. We've got Niagara Falls with Barza in the basement. Kansas City with Adam, Scratch Paper Games, Beaver Dam, Wisconsin. Rudy Poo, Ted's Master Bathroom, nice.
I don't have a master bathroom.
Well, maybe it's another Ted. He didn't say you.
Oh, okay.
True Mate is in Wales, of course. Oregon with Joshua. Lincoln in Sweden. We've got King Awesomeness in St. Louis, Missouri. Raven in Oz. Comic University is Ray Malkin. We got Patrick in Sweden. We got Matt in Michigan. Yeah, Adam. Hey, there's another Missourian. It happens. It happens. We got Central Pennsylvania in the house. Sunbury, CA Hollenbach. You're not too far from us, globally speaking. Doug says, "Say hi to Cable for me at Comic University." We got Alexandra in Rhode Island. Steve in Arizona. We've got okay, we got Mr. Blind Crow, Prince Albert, Saskatchewan, Canada. Argentina in the house with Cannibal Loco. We've got Nordic Dragon in the house with Sweden. Gridlin in Tampa, Florida. We've got Zach in Hawaii. Awesome. Nice. Wilder Smith is in New York. And that's it for now.
Oh man, that's
3 people from Sweden, though.
Yeah,
I am. We're huge in Sweden.
So I'd like to know where our Californian hangs are.
What? They're busy doing California stuff. David
Right.
Leva is in Boston.
So we got a bunch of people in Florida too. So
I wouldn't say a bunch, but a handful. There's like 5 or 6 of them that came and hung out with me and Ryan.
Cool.
So Saskatoon in the house as well with DM Steve.
Nice. So as I mentioned, we have a giveaway to send out. Earlier we announced that we were giving away from Nord Games the Monster Reference Cards 5th edition from the Ultimate Bestiary, as well as the Adventure Realm role-playing game tiles. Cool double-sided tiles to be able to
Looks
use.
heavy.
This is Town and Wilderness, and the random slots were drawn. The name came out was Wraithier Foxhaven. So I've got an email actually already prepped. All I got to do is hit the send button. But I didn't want to send it before the video. So I will click that button. You can send me your info, sir or madam, and I will get this sent to you. As always, since there's really nothing there for us to sign, if you want us to sign a postcard or something to toss in the box, let me know, and we can have that done.
Never mind. But I will say, DM Steve, Nerdarchy Live is my Saturday pre-session ritual now. Thanks, DM Steve. We appreciate
Awesome.
that.
Glad that we're a part of your prep and your day.
Part of your gaming session. I feel like I'm at the table now. I'm ready to roll some D20s. Oh yeah. So is that everything? Did we actually cover everything?
That's my list.
That's your list. I feel like I've done a lot of talking this live chat.
You did recount your tail, so
yes.
Yeah.
that tale was an epic.
Oh, I did want to say, because people have asked, and people are going to continue to ask, I'm sure, so I might as well put it out there. There's a backlog for GM tips, so it's going to be like 8 weeks before you actually see us on there. So that makes us a little sad. So, no, we really did go out there.
yeah, I had to keep telling everybody, like, yeah, they're going, and it's going to be recorded this day, but we don't know when it's going to show.
She recorded 3 on the Saturday with us, and we were the 3rd one. So it was interesting.
And they've got people in the queue still, so from what it sounds like.
Like if you follow us on Instagram, you saw the stuff from inside Geek and Sundry. There's literally pictures of me and Dave sitting in the makeup chair. So yeah, it happened. It's there.
I don't know if I put up the pictures from our video with Rudy and Satine yet or not. They put up so many pictures. I did something I rarely ever do, and I just did like albums of stuff.
Right.
Like here's with all the fans. Here's me and Ted getting pretty. Here's
because the pictures were taken with Steph's phone as opposed to my tablet. I haven't actually got the stuff like the actual fan pictures up on Instagram yet, but that is the plan. It's been a rough week getting back into like a regular work schedule and still trying to get that stuff up.
Yeah, actually, I want to thank Steph for coming out with us because it did make a lot of things a lot easier. Like, she was taking pictures as we're doing stuff. She was taking pictures of us, and even helped. She even helped with ordering the pizza for the fan game and organizing the fans into groups to play. It just made it easier because we didn't have to worry about that stuff. Why we're just kind of hanging out and talking with the fans, and she kind of divided them up.
And I mean, even something as simple as okay, we can get into our game and start running, so someone else is handling that other stuff. Because we had so many people, it's okay, we had a total of 15 people that were there. Some were just I'm stopping in literally to shake your hand, take a picture, sign, get a book signed, and they were out. So to you guys who were there in the game, I really do apologize. We had 3 hours blocked, and you got tops an hour and a half game out of it. So I hope that you guys were happy enough in that presence and not feeling that you missed out on something. So please let us know your feedback.
So Raven says cameras on focus. Well, buddy, we are 3/4 of the way through the show at this point. It would be silly to fix it now.
Are you sure your YouTube channel, your settings are turned down really low?
Your glasses are smudged. It's probably our camera. Or not the camera, us setting it up, more likely.
Yeah, I mean, it looks okay from there, but
Yeah.
I'm also staring diagonally at a laptop screen, so
Yeah, and then like the actual screen on the camera is probably about, I don't know, 3-4 feet away from me, and it's like this big. So I'm old. I got old eyes.
I got cords and everything in my way, so I can't actually see stuff properly. And the crappy eyes.
Oh, someone did ask, what do we think the Unearthed Arcana is going to be on Monday? I don't know. Do you whoever asked that? Do you have any thoughts on that?
I think it's going to be another teaser thing for the guy that's coming out.
Maybe. Well, maybe not
like
so much
final draft roll.
Yeah, maybe not a teaser, but maybe them still revisiting or revising stuff and getting more feedback.
That's kind of what I meant. By teasing more stuff.
It would
from
be teasing us, with like, these are what we're going to put in it. Yeah, I'd like to see that kind of like the final prep for what they're going to have in there.
So there is a request from Zach Maples, request to Nate to play Kerbal Space Program on Game Channel.
Oh, Kerbal, right? Is that how you say it?
It looks like it to me.
Yeah, that has piqued my interest. It does look pretty cool. So I'll have to check it out, see what it costs on Steam.
Nordic Dragon, we did one together. And I believe it's only like one of two where they've actually had multiple people on at the same time. So that was kind of cool. We did not get to do one each.
Yeah,
she was like, "No, that's quite all right, guys.
More than enough Nerdarchy for me."
It's like, yeah, we have a Grognar quota and we've gone over.
And like a lot of the people that they have on there is
so much better looking. You're right. I know. You look at them, they're like, oh, Hollywood people.
It's like, oh well, I mean, like the last one that I saw was the one with Jen, who was in the Maze Arcana game that we were there for.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, that's you can't even put us in the same caliber.
And Ivan was there doing his GM tests when we were there. So, and I believe he is the GM for Dread on Alpha, and Satine had posted a video up, I think it was yesterday, of her showing Ivan something on the computer, and it was like someone, I don't know if it was someone in the game or someone that watched the game, had gotten a tattoo inspired by that game. Nice. So Ivan is such a great DM, he makes people get tattoos in real life. It's not bad. You put that. That's not a bad thing to have on your epitaph. Why not?
Well, somebody drew the tattoo that you had on your character and shared that on Facebook.
Yeah, I don't think it's the same level of emotion.
Yeah.
Or being impressed enough. But it looked cool. I thought it was.
Did you feel any lack of Nerdarchy in your life while we were gone?
Oh yeah. It did feel different to be doing the live stream, and I guess because I did the live streams, it was kind of like a lot of interaction with all the fans and viewers. So it was a different level of interaction. So I definitely enjoyed it, and I thank you again for Doug, Megan, and Joshua for showing up for some of the live chats. That it was nice having a secondary person to talk to and interact with.
And not just have to talk to the screen by yourself for an hour.
Not monologue to the screen and talk to the chat. I mean, talking to the chat's fun. It's just for later viewing, it's nice to have another person there, because somebody could always be talking and interacting while the other person's reading things.
Oh yeah, I should probably mention that game I'm playing in.
Yeah, that might be.
I was actually reminded, because TrueMate is like, anyone get a Jogo tattoo yet? I'm ready to get a Jogo tattoo. So yeah, Saber Dice is a collab game between Nerdarchy, Taking 20, WebDM, and Dawnforge Cast, and we are having a blast with it. I know. Andrew Armstrong gets a lot of flack and a lot of hate in the community, but he is doing an amazing job playing Jordan, and I'm having a lot of fun in that game. Nice, and I feel like the other players are too. So we've only got one session and the test session under our belt so far, but I'm already looking forward to session 2, which will be happening this Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to take off the following week because half of us are going to be at Gen Con. Well, actually, I think like most of us are going to be at Gen Con.
Should do it live.
Well, we could, but WebDM isn't going to be there. And Jim Davis from WebDM is actually the DM, so that might be hard. I mean, unless we just run the game and tell him what happened. I don't know.
That'd be pretty cool. That's
It
something-
could be you guys all at the table, and then he's someplace else.
Yeah, him and Pruitt or somewhere
Yeah.
else.
So we can also throw this out that, next Saturday Nate will actually be doing the live chat, same time,
Sure. Yeah.
from his own headquarters, as Dave and I have our own things that we need to be doing that day. And initially, like, I scheduled mine, and I'm like, all right, Dave will still be here. And then Dave's own things came up, and it's like, well, what do we do?
Nate will still be here.
Nate will be here. Nate can do it.
So yeah, so what could happen with that is, AtCon was supposed to happen, and they were going to have some of their fans doing something on the East Coast of Boston, and I was supposed to go up there with my family, and the car broke down. We had issues, so we didn't make it, and it was going to be like another mini workcation thing. So my family was all bummed out, and my wife was like, well, can we go away for a weekend, and like, what do we have left? So we're like, all right, we're going to do this one, and we're going to go down to Maryland, which is cool. One of my buddies lives down there, and also Jen from Pixelscapes that's in my game, the Scarlet Sisterhood, is also out there, so hopefully we'll get to hang out a little bit as well. So that'll be really cool. Also in the chat, there's a couple of you, James Carden, and James Carden, and also TrueMate were mentioning Jogo and the Jordan interactions. So thank you, really appreciate that. Like I said, it is also a lot of fun. Fenrir World Eater, is Nerdarchy looking forward to Starfinder? I think we're not really into Pathfinder, but I want to say I am looking into checking out Starfinder, even though.
Yeah, I'm interested in Starfinder.
I'm excited to play it again.
Well, that just means he's gonna have to run. He's an expert.
Oh yeah,
No,
yeah.
I'm not an expert.
You're twice the expert than we are.
Well, I've watched the running of it, so
Oh, okay, you can run.
I just got to read the book first.
Read
Okay.
Schmeed.
It's like,
Alexandra had said that Megan should be in more of our videos.
I agree.
She is awesome. She is awesome. Actually, she's probably in more of our videos than you realize but they're all gameplays. So she has weaseled her way into our FaZe game, our Open Legend game.
She didn't
Scarlet
weasel her
Sisterhood.
way. She's
Totally weasel. No, we love Megan. She's awesome. She writes on the Nerdarchy website for us, and that's kind of like the idea with some of these games too. Was we wanted to do more stuff with our writers, more interaction. So that was we felt that was a great way to do it. And Comic Book University kind of got drafted into running Marvel FaZe Rip.
He talked about it, and you're like, oh, you should run that.
Yeah.
And it just kind of happened.
It did kind of happen.
So when that game was being put together, I think it was being put together during like an after or before Open Legend game. So it was like all those people, and you're just kind of like, well, we're just gonna
shift them over here.
This
group of people has nothing to do during the day.
And like, I can only do so much during my typical work day that like now I can't do another game, and commit to it every single week. So like, you brought in some other people. So good stuff.
It is. Let's see. Raven, have any of you played Traveler? I can only speak for myself, but I have not. I don't think the other guys have either.
I have not.
No, I haven't.
But if you're mentioning, Megan, you can find the books that she's written on Amazon under Megan R. Miller, or if you go to any of the Scarlet Sisterhood games, the links to her store page will be there.
Yeah, and then not only that, also Jen from Pixelscapes. If you go to episode 13 and beyond, you can also find a link to her website as well. And she does monster drawings from the PHB. If you follow her on Twitter and you retweet her, she randomly picks a retweeter to pick the next monster. So it's kind of cool. She does live draws on Twitch, and there are all kinds of like funky, crazy colors. So if you're familiar with Spencer Gifts from like back in the day, I don't know if they even still exist or not.
I don't know. I don't pick them all.
But I used to go to the Deptford Mall and get like the blacklight posters and stuff, and that's what her drawings remind me of.
Yeah,
it's good stuff. She did one of Nerdarchy, looks amazing. I also commissioned her to do a super secret one. That's a present for somebody that I'm not going to mention on air. So this will be a surprise. So it's good stuff. You should definitely check it out. Zach Maples, bring back intern Kyle. Intern Kyle quit. Actually, I don't know what he got a new job, and we haven't really heard from him.
He's very
that much.
busy with his job.
Yeah.
So the last several weeks or months or whatever it's been, like I would chat with him, and I'm like, yeah, are you going to be able to be here? No, okay, well, is what it is.
Alexandria, I've watched all the Scarlet Sisterhood. Awesome. And the link, I just added all those links yesterday, to be honest with you, because I was like, hey, you write for us, you do a lot of stuff for us, you're an awesome, you're a volunteer. Is there anything I can do for you? She's like, could you put this link in those? I'm like, sure thing. And so it's all there. If you go back, click it. And what was it? 404 Killer Not Found? Was that the first? That's the first book that comes up, and that's hilarious. And when she told me that she had to explain that to people, I'm like, what? I'm not even that smart, and I got it. Come on.
I don't know. Maybe people just don't see our 404s anymore.
I guess maybe.
They're rarer now than they used to be, I believe.
Adam, I really should. Well, any website you go to that has a broken page, you get a 404 error.
Yeah.
Trust me, as someone who has a website, they come up. I can't be the only one breaking pages. Maybe.
I don't know, Tim, when was the last time you saw one?
That's an interesting prospect. Kidnap intern Kyle. No, Nerdarchy does not condone kidnapping anyone.
Or illegal activities.
Yeah, including intern Kyle. It's actually unpaid volunteer Kyle.
Or forced work, or whatever other deviations of that word you want to use.
Yeah. Besides, he would show us up with his snazzy dressing anyway. We got like t-shirts on, and he's got like a bow tie, and Joker makeup,
and a thematic bow tie.
Yeah.
I have said bow tie. I just didn't.
He's hard to compete with. Also, too,
I don't know. Rudy and Ryan would, give him more than a run for his money.
Yeah, and also Adam Cabal. Although they say, like, I didn't thought I'd bring Adam up.
I only ever see him in a black t-shirt.
But I guess he does these like work things, and maybe he's at his job, so he dresses up for his job, and so that he was dressed up, or maybe I just caught like an off one or something. I don't know.
I totally agree that with you that Rudy should do his own nerd chic
channel
YouTube stuff,
website, something.
Yeah,
it would be amazing.
Like one of the ties he had, it was literally tied with a D20, like in the knot. It was cool. It was awesome.
He is quite the snazzy dresser.
I'm jealous.
The D20 necktie or
the snazzy dressing?
The snazzy dressing.
Both.
You could snazzy dress. That's actually a choice that he's made.
Yeah.
You can make the same choice and be like, I'm going to be like Rudy when I grow up.
I just don't think I'm that cool.
You might be right.
I think you need more determination, Ted.
What do you think, guys? Do you want to see Ted wear dress shirts and vests and ties?
Yeah, let us know.
I don't see it, man. I don't think that's your style. I don't think it's Nerdarchy style. We're pretty grungy. Old and grog-hardy.
I'd say chill.
Chill.
Relaxed.
I mean, Zuckerberg rocks the hoodie, so why not?
Yeah.
They do make some nerdy ties. I've actually got quite a tie collection.
You totally derailed me, though. I was going to say, so the Saber Dice game we're involved in, there's actually three sponsors. One of them is pyromonster.com, but I think it actually goes by a different name, but that one's like stuck in my head, but it is pyromonster.com. The other one is Fantasy Grounds, and then also Think Geek. And now there's Think Geek links in like a lot of our stuff that's coming out now. That is an affiliate link. So if you go there and shop like you normally would from Think Geek, we actually get a small percentage of that. It helps the channel. And more importantly, though, what it really does is the more people that go to Think Geek and support them through our links, it's going to show them that their sponsorship dollars for that Saber Dice game has been well spent, and they'll continue to sponsor us, and so we can do more cool games like that. Right now we've got season 1, which will be 12 episodes, and depending on how well that goes, we'll determine if we do season 2, or maybe we start other games at the same time. Maybe we bring other people in. We don't really know where that could possibly go. We're really in the infant stages, but again, the more successful it is, the more we're going to be able to do with it. That would be the truth. So that brings us right up to the hour, pretty much. It just flipped.
It just.
So, do we have anything else before we go?
Reiterating all of the thank yous. Everyone that we met out in LA. Whether you meet people that we hung out with as fans of Nerdarchy, the people we met at Geek and Sundry, Emerald Knights, all of Satine and Rudy's friends. It was absolutely amazing. The staff writers and Nate for keeping everything running here while we were gone.
Thanks to all the people who donated to the GoFundMe. That was really important to help get these guys out there.
And Dave's beard thanks you for all the compliments. They're like, you don't grow a beard like that and go shaving it off all willy nilly.
And also thank you to our monthly patrons that help us with our daily expenses and things.
And just the people that shop through our links. That helps a lot. We do appreciate it. And I guess with that,
until next time,
stay nerdy. But I don't want him to accidentally lose a firstborn or his soul or something like that. Fairy law is very tricky.
Indeed.
So also someone said something about a side quest. Did we get? I think it was Scratch Paper Games. Did you reach your destination uneventfully, or was there a side quest? Hey, Comic Book University.
We reached the destination without a side quest. The side quest started thereafter.
All right, you want to tell her or you want me to tell it?
I've told it a number of times. You told it a number of times.
All right, Nate, it's your turn.
All right, so
here's what happened. Yeah. So here's the dealio, guys. So we got into LA early, 30 minutes early. Things are looking good. We're gonna be able to chill, relax, maybe do some hanging out or something. So we get there. I had gotten the confirmation email from the cheapest rental car I could find, saying you've made a wise decision because the desk is right in the airport.
You have chosen wise.
And I'm like, yeah, I did. Chicka bow wow wow. And then I get there and I talk to the guy at the information desk. He's like, son, because he's an old dude. He's like, son, there is absolutely no rental car places in here whatsoever. And he's like, let me look it up for you. And he can't find anything. So we go to the bulletin board and like, oh, here's the shuttle for rental cars. That makes sense. Oh, that's easy. No big deal. We'll go stand over there. And we stand over there for like an hour.
For this one, we waited a half hour for the appropriate rental car shuttle to arrive.
And we saw like 50 million ones that weren't ours. So I was like, well, let me see if I got a number and I'll call. And I did. And some dude puts me through to, So I guess we had like a bunch of stuff to talk about, right? Like we had some adventures when we were out in LA. Not all of them were good. But, we survived. We got some XP. We're stronger. We might have even leveled up. Ted's about to level up.
Maybe.
I actually did level up the day, we got back.
The day we returned.
Yeah. So, maybe some more of these. White hairs. Cat Thulu. No, he's too scary. So, what do we want to talk? Where do we want to start?
All right. Well, so how about we, talk about all the things we're going to talk about,
okay,
and then we can figure out where we want to go. So this month is my turn to run the fan game. So I will be doing that. It will be August 20th at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I've got a list over here of who's in it, who's alternates, and what have you. So we'll get into that. We got to come home with some giveaway stuff from Satine Phoenix.
Satine swag, yeah.
So that's pretty cool. She autographed that as a eventual giveaway for you guys. We have a giveaway to actually give away from last month's selection. So we'll announce that at some point in time. We can thank Nate for holding down the fort while we were traveling.
We could also thank Arbor Night Games.
Absolutely.
They were integral to our successful journey.
And as well as along with thanking them, we can thank all of the 15 awesome fans who traveled mere minutes to up to 6.
Hey guys, Dave from Nerdarchy, for nerds, by nerds, hang out with these nerds, and we might be live.
Nathan Nerdarch.
I guess Ted.
What's going on, folks? Happy Saturday. It's August 5th, man. The summer is almost over. Where has it gone?
We're back to the East Coast.
We are back on the East Coast, allegedly.
Allegedly. Well,
So,
unless we packed up my basement.
hey, it could happen. Stranger
Portable
things
hole.
have happened. Yeah,
It has
bag
one.
of holding.
But unfortunately, Stranger Things 2 has not happened yet.
No, it has not.
Season 2.
All right, good. It's playing. There's no sound, but I think you guys probably have sound. Hopefully.
But we see sound on our end. I can certainly hear you.
Yeah, well, that's true. I can hear you as well. Excellent. Hey, guys, how's everyone doing? So, some of you may know that we just got back from LA Tuesday morning, actually, and that was a blast.
A lot of fun. Well, certainly going to share some stories, some heartache, some woes.
Ivan Hinkman, who's the guy with the gray beard? He might be new around here. Although my beard has been known to change colors, it is kind of miraculously.
It's like a chameleon.
Yeah. John the Lion, yo guys, newcomer here. Welcome.
Welcome.
David Leavitt, do you have a moment to talk about our Lord and Savior? I don't think so, unless he's Cthulhu. I always have time for Cthulhu. That counts. Bards in the Basement with a Centaur 2, little gnome guy. God, John, this cube, nice. Automated system, and it's like we were standing on the purple line, but we needed to be in the blue line to look for the green line van to the remote car rental car lot.
So we go back inside, we find out where we have to go, we go to the correct color overhead, wait for the bus that says green line on it that will take us to the remote rental car drop-off, which looks like an abandoned parking lot.
Well, it looks like it actually looks like a parking lot to like a transportation depot or something like that, like a freight line or whatever. And there's some signs and some places on it, and there is a van there. So we're like, oh well, okay, it looks shady, but there's a guy there with a van. So it looks about right.
Organ harvesting time.
So he's like, well, I'm not the right guy, but the one we're waiting for, he was just here. I'm certain he'll be right back.
Yeah. So we wait like 45 minutes an hour. This is looking sketchy. Another couple shows up from Philadelphia, and they're like, this looks like sketchy. And they decide to walk to the place. And we wait a little bit longer. And we're like, I don't know. I've got way too much time on my hands this time. So I'm researching the company. And they've gotten a whopping 1.5 stars in reviews, right?
And that was only because somebody was actually kind enough to say, well, it was a headache. It took forever to get the car, so I'll give them 3 stars. Everything else was like pathetic.
Yeah. We got a super chat for $10 from David Leavitt. Thank you very much. When is the Nerdarchy Con? When? I don't know. We almost had one happen, but that was like a whole nother thing. But we are looking
Hours to come hang out and game with us over in California. That was pretty amazing.
Yeah, and we can also thank the folks at Nerdist, thanks Geek and Sundry, all part of Legendary Entertainment.
Legendary Digital Studios.
Oh yeah. Which is owned by Legendary Entertainment. It's very confusing, and then owned by yet another country, another company. Yeah. One big shadow organization after another.
And if you saw the message on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Patreon, we got the picture with Matt Mercer. We got the conversation.
Hold on a second here. My own music. Oh, I joined this before I realized it was live videos. Is that because you're the guy that always spams us like every live video we do? It goes right to, you can do it, but it goes right to the spam and no one ever sees it. If you're that guy. So there's someone, my music, blah, blah, blah. We get a few of those. Or like the porn chat chicks are like, I made a video about you, right? And then they just go to like their empty site. There's like nothing there. And, they all just go to the spam anyway.
Right.
So, I don't know. Rant completed.
But we got the picture with Matt Mercer. We got the secondary confirmation that he will do an interview with us. So soon as his schedule opens up a little bit, we're hoping to get him on. He's not confirmed twice. If he confirms a third time, Dave says we own him or something.
We own his soul by fairy law. I mean, I didn't write these law. I warn him next time too, just in case. You know, I don't want him to get into something he wasn't. Look,